Before I knew it, I was taking 65 extra like a day. I was crushing it. Yeah. I was buying them illegally from Mexico.
Because of the heart issues you've been having.
From Kurt Angle's journey from taking 65 painkillers a day to achieving 14 years of sobriety, to The Undertaker's miraculous heart surgery recovery, to the tragic losses experienced by Hulk Hogan, wrestling legends have embarked on journeys that are just as compelling, inspiring, and sometimes heartbreaking as anything they did in the ring. Stone Cold Steve Austin became arguably the biggest star in wrestling history, but at 60 years old, the legend who once brawled with Vince McMahon and stunned anyone who crossed his path has traded the pandemonium of packed arenas for something far more peaceful, the quiet serenity of ranch life in rural Texas. Austin currently resides primarily at Broken Skull Ranch near Tilden, Texas, a 40-acre property that perfectly embodies his rugged, independent spirit, where he spends his days engaged in everyday ranch activities, hunting, fishing, and maintaining the property with the same intensity he once brought to the ring. In May 2025, he posted photos from the ranch with the simple caption, "Life Knocker Ranch," offering fans a glimpse into his serene, nature-focused routine. But Texas isn't his only retreat, as Austin also owns Broken Skull Ranch 2.0 in Gardnerville, Nevada, a desert haven where he indulges his passion for off-road racing and adventure. With Texas serving as his core base, while Nevada provides a change of scenery and adrenaline-pumping experiences. His social media presence exudes positivity, frequently responding, "Hell yeah," to fan tributes and milestones, maintaining the larger-than-life persona that made him famous while embracing a decidedly low-key lifestyle. And married to his wife Kristen since 2009, with 3 children from previous relationships, Austin prioritizes family amid a history that includes 4 marriages and past legal troubles, including a 2002 domestic incident resolved with probation. But Austin hasn't completely disconnected from the wrestling world or his entrepreneurial spirit, as his Broken Skull beer line, partnered with L.I. Sagundu Brewing since 2014, has become a significant post-retirement venture, and in 2025, the brand celebrated its 10th anniversary with a limited edition IPA launched on November 15th, promoted through Instagram Reels and social media posts, with the flagship IPA and American lager varieties distributed across 39 states and over 5,000 barrels produced annually, with Austin actively marketing them as the best beer in America, tying promotions to his ranch lifestyle with posts like, "Friday is beer night." As a WWE ambassador, Austin makes sporadic appearances at major events like WrestleMania 41 in April 2025, where he made a dramatic entrance and crashed an ATV, as well as Hall of Fame ceremonies, and while reports suggest openness to one more match, he clearly prioritizes health management, managing chronic neck and knee problems at 60 through low-impact activities stemming from decades of punishment, including a severe neck injury in 1997 that caused temporary paralysis, and he has publicly denied alcoholism, emphasizing responsible drinking despite his beer-chugging persona. So for fans wondering if they'll ever see Stone Cold stunning someone again, the answer is never say never. But for now, the Texas Rattlesnake appears to have found something even more valuable than championship gold: peace, family, and the freedom to live life on his own terms. Meanwhile, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, underwent emergency heart surgery in April 2025 for chronic atrial fibrillation, a condition that had his heart's ejection fraction, the measure of how efficiently blood is pumped, down to just 30%, and to put that in perspective, a normal ejection fraction is between 50 and 70%, with The Undertaker crediting his wife, Michelle McCool, in a June 2025 episode of his 6 Feet Under podcast with potentially saving his life.
Because of the heart issues you've been having weeks prior.
McCool noticed symptoms that Undertaker himself hadn't recognized and urged him to seek immediate medical attention, with the surgery coming just after WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, where The Undertaker had made an appearance looking strong and healthy to the millions watching, but behind the scenes, his body was sending distress signals that could have resulted in a catastrophic event if left untreated. And this health scare reinforced what Undertaker had been saying since his 2020 retirement, following a cinematic match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36, that there is no way he'll wrestle again, prioritizing his health and family over any comeback fantasy. And in August 2025, he firmly stated that a return is impossible due to his health conditions and his commitment to retiring the character properly, while beyond podcasting. Calloway's Undertaker One Dead Man Show tour continued in 2025, with family life centered on his Texas home with Michelle McCool and their children, daughter Kaya Faith, showing promising wrestling potential with aerial skills, and adopted son Colt, while from prior marriages he has son Gunnar Vincent and daughters Chasey and Gracie, and McCool's influence strengthened his Christian faith, as he noted in his Hall of Fame speech, "The greatest thing you've ever done for me is restore my relationship with my Lord and Savior." with a 2024 baptism publicly declaring this faith journey and emphasizing total surrender to Jesus. Meanwhile, Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania, the showstopper, these aren't just nicknames, but testaments to a career that redefined what professional wrestling could be, as Michaels, born Michael Shawn Hickenbottom on July 22, 1965, spent decades electrifying audiences with his unparalleled in-ring ability, emotional storytelling, and show-stealing performances. With a legendary career that included 4 world championships, co-founding D-Generation X, and delivering countless 5-star matches, and at 60 years old in 2025, Shawn Michaels has found a calling that brings him even more fulfillment than championship gold, nurturing the next generation of WWE superstars. As Senior Vice President of Talent Development Creative, Michaels transitioned into his executive role starting in 2016 at the WWE Performance Center, initially serving as a coach before being promoted to Senior Vice President in 2022, and in this capacity, he oversees NXT storylines, talent, scouting, and developmental programs, essentially serving as the creative architect of WWE's developmental brand, frequently appearing on NXT programming in a managerial role to announce events or hype matches, and he has been instrumental in expanding the brand's reach, while in interviews, Michaels emphasizes NXT's unique mission, stating there's not another brand out there that works so hard to create stars in order to lose them, a reference to preparing talent for Raw or SmackDown while still drawing money for the developmental show. That transformation wasn't easy, as Michaels' career was marred by substance abuse issues in the 1980s and 1990s, including a 1993 steroid suspension and a 1998 back injury from a casket match forced his initial 4-year retirement, while at one point suicidal thoughts consumed him until a moment with his son prompted sobriety in 2002. Becoming a born-again Christian that year, influenced by his wife Rebecca Kirschy, married since 1999, which sustained his recovery, though health challenges have persisted, including fusion surgery for his back, multiple concussions, and various injuries, and in late 2025, he underwent double knee replacement surgery following previous procedures like shoulder replacement, and despite the alarming update raising fan concerns, Michaels remains optimistic, stating he wouldn't change a thing about his career, no longer misses performing, and finds creative outlets in NXT deeply satisfying, while family anchors his current life, residing in Texas on his Bergheim Ranch and another renovated home valued collectively around $1 million. Michaels enjoys a luxurious yet grounded lifestyle with his wife Rebecca and their children, son Cameron Cade, born 2000, and daughter Cheyenne, born 2004, and for fans who remember the Heartbreak Kid's iconic matches and cocky swagger, seeing Shawn Michaels thriving in a mentorship role is perhaps the greatest character evolution of all, as from breaking hearts to building futures, he's living proof that life's most meaningful chapters often come after the final curtain call. Meanwhile, Triple H, Paul Levesque, born Paul Michael Levesque, has successfully transformed from one of wrestling's most dominant in-ring performers into one of its most influential executives. As WWE's Chief Content Officer and Head of Creative, the 56-year-old Levesque now orchestrates the storytelling, talent relations, and innovative partnerships that define modern professional wrestling. But his journey to this position was marked by a health crisis that could have ended everything, as in September 2021, Levesque suffered a severe cardiac event triggered by a genetic heart condition compounded by viral pneumonia, which caused fluid buildup around his heart and inflamed lungs, and this near-fatal episode led to emergency surgery at Yale New Haven Hospital, where doctors installed an implantable cardioverter defibrillator, ICD, in his chest to manage potential arrhythmias, forcing his abrupt retirement from active wrestling in March 2022, announced during an ESPN First Take interview with Stephen A. Smith, where he candidly stated, "I was in heart failure bad," and affirmed he would never wrestle again, with his final in-ring appearance being a symbolic gesture at WrestleMania 38 in April 2022, leaving his boots in the ring as a farewell, and by 2025, Levesque reflects on this health scare with gratitude, calling it a gift that realigned his life priorities toward health, family, and meaningful presence in his professional endeavors.
It's the most important thing in the world to me, all this other stuff. It's wonderful.
Professionally, 2025 has been a banner year for Triple H, as Levesque was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2025 as its first announced member on January 29th, surprised by friends Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, and this individual honor complements his 2019 D-Generation X induction as Chief Content Officer, a position he assumed in September 2022, overseeing creative writing, talent development, and major business operations, including securing streaming partnerships with platforms like Netflix and ESPN. While publicly, he appeared at the White House in July 2025 for youth fitness initiatives as Vice Chair of the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition, performing his signature water spit for entertainment, underscoring his advocacy for youth physical activity and achievement. And on a personal front, Levesque's marriage to Stephanie McMahon since October 25, 2003 integrates him into the McMahon family legacy, with the couple having 3 children and residing in Connecticut. And philanthropically, he and Stephanie founded Connor's Cure in 2014, raising nearly $4.5 million for pediatric cancer support, demonstrating that Triple H's influence extends beyond wrestling, inspiring fans and aspiring wrestlers, as his story exemplifies adaptation and resilience, turning a life-threatening challenge into an opportunity for reinvention. Meanwhile, Ric Flair, the Nature Boy, is a name synonymous with wrestling royalty, as with his flamboyant robes, bleach blonde hair, signature woo catchphrase, and 16 world championships, Flair revolutionized wrestling entertainment. But at 76 years old in 2025, the man who once proclaimed himself the kiss-stealing, wheeling-dealing, limousine-riding, jet-flying son of a gun faces a reality far removed from the champagne-soaked celebrations of his prime. In mid-2025, Flair revealed he had been diagnosed with skin cancer, melanoma, marking his second diagnosis in 3 years, and he underwent treatment before announcing himself cancer-free in July 2025. But the ordeal underscored the physical toll that decades of wrestling, partying, and living life at full throttle had taken, while additionally, Flair disclosed in early 2025 that he had unknowingly suffered a heart attack the prior year, adding to a medical history that includes a medically induced coma in 2017 due to bowel complications, kidney failure, and congestive heart failure, and surviving a 1975 plane crash that broke his back in 3 places. Flair defied doctors to return to wrestling, a testament to his legendary toughness, though health challenges have continued, including alcoholic cardiomyopathy from past struggles with alcoholism. And in July 2025, he vowed to never drink again after recent scares, emphasizing a commitment to sobriety that has been a recurring theme throughout his tumultuous personal life. Despite these challenges, Flair remains entrepreneurially active, particularly with his Woo energy drink brand, launched in 2023 with Karma Hold Company and LGNDS, a mushroom-infused beverage featuring 150 milligrams caffeine, low sugar, and flavors like dragon fruit and strawberry banana, which became AEW's official energy drink in November 2023 via a multi-year deal that concluded in July 2024, with promotions continuing in 2025, including a March event in St. Louis, and other ventures including his 2022 Ric Flair Drip Cannabis line with Mike Tyson, Woo Wings virtual restaurants, and merchandise via RicFlairShop.com, while also honoring legends with a Steve McMichael tribute and announcing a November 12, 2025 Blood and Guts appearance with Ricky Steamboat. And on a personal level, Flair married his 3rd wife, Sky Daly, in 2023 after relationships with Wendy Barlow from 2011 to 2024 and previous marriages, has 4 children, including WWE star Charlotte Flair, and experienced profound tragedy with the death of his son Reed from a drug overdose in 2013 and the suicide of his stepson Sebastian KD in October 2024. Meanwhile, Hulk Hogan, born Terry Bollea, passed away on July 24, 2025, at age 71, marking the loss of one of wrestling's most iconic figures, with reports indicating his death resulted from a heart attack linked to atrial fibrillation amid a battle with chronic lymphocytic leukemia, occurring at his Clearwater, Florida home, where medics responded to a serious medical emergency and he died approximately an hour later. In the weeks leading to his death, Hogan had experienced serious health decline, including speech difficulties from tracheal damage and physical limitations from multiple surgeries stemming from his wrestling career, having undergone over 20 operations on his back, hips, and knees, and earlier in 2025, he was reported resting at home with medical support, unable to speak clearly due to throat issues. Yet even amid declining health, Hogan remained active in his Florida-based business ventures and public appearances, operating retail shops like Hogan's Hangout in Clearwater and Orlando, rebranded from his earlier Hogan's Beach shop, attracting wrestling fans and tourists and contributing to his estimated $25 million net worth alongside WWE royalties and endorsements. He also launched initiatives such as the Real American Freestyle Wrestling League and maintained a visible political presence, supporting figures like Donald Trump and speaking at the 2024 Republican National Convention, while his personal life included a 3rd marriage to Sky Daly in 2023, and he had 2 children, Brooke and Nick, from prior relationships, with a late 2024 baptism, publicly embracing Christianity and expressing themes of forgiveness, a spiritual turn amid a turbulent period. That included family tragedy, notably the suicide of stepson Sebastian KD in October 2024, Yet Hogan's legacy remained complicated by controversies that shadowed his final years. 2015 audio leak revealed racist remarks by Hulk Hogan, leading WWE to sever ties and remove him from their Hall of Fame, though he later apologized, citing personal stress, and was reinstated in 2018 after completing community service and diversity efforts, while a leaked sex tape in 2012 led to a high-profile lawsuit against Gawker Media, which Hogan won, initially receiving $140 million in damages and ultimately settling for $31 million, bankrupting the media outlet, and following his death on July 24, 2025, tributes poured in from WWE fans and celebrities, with funerals held on August 5, and his estate valued at $25 million. Meanwhile, Bret Hart, Bret the Hitman Hart, widely regarded as one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time, has spent his retirement years navigating a path defined by health challenges, family devotion, and a complex relationship with the industry that made him famous, and at 68 years old in 2025. The five-time WWE champion and member of the legendary Hart wrestling dynasty continues to make selective public appearances while prioritizing his well-being and preserving his storied legacy, with his health journey being arduous, including a June 2002 bicycle accident in Calgary that led to a stroke paralyzing his left side and requiring months of therapy, initially walking with a cane but recovering mobility though emotional effects lingered, and he became a spokesperson for stroke recovery via March of Dimes Canada, while in February 2016, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, with surgery rendering him cancer-free by March, and he donated to related causes, including $16,300 to the Calgary Prostate Cancer Center in 2019, and as of 2025, Hart's health appears stable with no reported setbacks. However, Hart shared a heartfelt Instagram post in October 2025 about his daughter Jade's successful battle with breast cancer, urging early detection and praising her resilience, with his family-focused advocacy reflecting his shift from ring intensity to broader impacts, as family remains Hart's anchor, residing in Calgary, Alberta, and married to his third wife, Stephanie Washington, since 2010, while his 4 children from his first marriage to Julie Smadu, spanning 1982 to 2002, Jade, Michelle, Alexandra, Sabina, Dallas, and Blade Colton remain central to his life, with Jade, private with her husband Steve and children, often attending WWE events supporting cousin Natalia. Alexandra facing business challenges with her Heart Healthy Food restaurant, and sons Dallas and Blade perpetuating the legacy through Dungeon Wrestling, launched in 2022 in Calgary and featuring titles like the Stu Hart Heritage Championship, while Hart also owns the Calgary Hitman hockey team and Hitman's Bar, a memorabilia-filled lounge opened in 2023, with his estimated net worth of $6 million supporting a luxurious yet low-profile lifestyle. In 2025, Hart's activities reflect selectivity, as he canceled November appearances in Pennsylvania, New York, and Connecticut due to unexpected and unavoidable commitments at home, expressing regret and aiming to reschedule for spring, with a planned final appearance of 2025 in Montreal on November 9th, marking the Montreal Screwjob anniversary, announced in October. And while he attended SummerSlam 2025 after an invitation, he felt dismissed when no crowd seat was provided, leading him to question WWE's appreciation for his legacy, and Hart has voiced that modern wrestling lacks the authenticity of his era, rarely watching it and believing no one matches his storytelling. This diplomatic stance acknowledges wrestling's evolution while affirming Bret Hart's pride, as social media portrays him as a content family man often sharing updates, with his current chapter balancing reflection on a transformative career with family-centric living, selective public roles, and quiet advocacy. Meanwhile, Mick Foley, known by his memorable personas Mankind, Cactus Jack, and Dude Love, stands as one of professional wrestling's most beloved and resilient figures, and at 60 years old in 2025, Foley has transformed from a hardcore legend who endured unimaginable punishment in the ring to a health-focused advocate, storyteller, and philanthropist whose post-retirement life exemplifies reinvention and compassion. Foley's wrestling career, spanning from 1985 to 2012, took a tremendous physical toll, as he was known for unprotected chair shots, falls from extreme heights, and brutal matches, enduring chronic injuries including concussions, joint damage, and mobility issues, and by the mid-2010s, his weight had climbed to 372 pounds, exacerbating problems like sleep apnea and joint pain. However, in recent years, Foley has made remarkable strides, revealing in early November 2025 interviews that he lost nearly 90 pounds, dropping to 273 at one point before stabilizing around 280, and this weight loss, combined with hip replacement surgery in 2017 and a subsequent knee replacement, has resulted in significantly improved mobility, with Foley describing it as a new lease on life, noting he can now walk without constant pain, admitting he initially pushed too hard on the diet but has since adopted a balanced approach, while creatively, Foley has channeled his eccentric persona into diverse pursuits. His writing career began in 1999 with Have a Nice Day, A Tale of Blood and Sweat Socks, entirely handwritten without a ghostwriter, which topped the New York Times bestseller list, and this success spawned memoirs, fiction like Tales from Brown in 2004, and children's books. While no new titles have emerged since St. Mick in 2017, which chronicled his Santa Claus volunteering, though his writing continues to influence his spoken word performances. Advocacy forms the heart of Foley's post-wrestling identity, with involvement in Reign beginning in 2008, inspired by musician Tori Amos, logging over 550 hotline hours in a 15-month period and serving on their National Leadership Council, while fundraising efforts like the NAFTA 10 for Reign campaign have raised thousands through Child Fund since 1992. And he sponsors 7 children and has funded schools in the Philippines, Mexico, and Sierra Leone, with recent charity work including an August 2025 auction for a tie-dye guitar to aid wrestlers' families and annual Santa volunteering. On a personal level, Foley lives in New York with his wife Colette and 4 children, including son Dwayne, a WWE employee, and he marked his 60th birthday in June 2025 with merchandise commemorating 40 years in wrestling. While socially, he stepped back from X since 2022 due to concerns over misinformation but remains active on Instagram and Facebook, posting about tours, health, and holidays. Foley's acting includes roles in indie films like The Peanut Butter Falcon, 2019, and TV spots on 30 Rock and Heels, 2021, as well as voicing characters like the Boulder in Avatar: The Last Airbender, leveraging his persona's mix of intensity and humor, and today, Foley's life reflects a balanced embrace of his past eccentricity, using it to advocate, entertain, and inspire while prioritizing well-being and community. Meanwhile, Kurt Angle's journey from Olympic gold medalist to WWE Hall of Famer to post-retirement entrepreneur is a story of unparalleled toughness, devastating addiction, and ultimately redemption, and at 56 years old in 2025, Angle has successfully transitioned from the squared circle to a life focused on nutrition, business ventures, media engagements, and family, all while managing the lasting effects of a career that pushed his body to its absolute limits, with his defining characteristic always being extraordinary toughness, highlighted by his most famous achievement, winning the 1996 Olympic gold medal in freestyle wrestling, a triumph that set the stage for his legendary professional wrestling career.
4 broken vertebrae in my neck. I had 2 discs sticking directly in my spinal cord.
To compete, Angle's doctor injected him with 12 shots of Novocaine just 5 minutes before each match, allowing him to wrestle without feeling the pain, though an hour after each bout he would be in excruciating agony, and this pattern of pushing through pain with medical intervention would continue to haunt his professional wrestling career.
When I broke my neck in WWE, that was the second time I broke it. First time was before the Olympics. Second was my second year in WWE. Or actually, no, third year. It was Brock Lesnar actually broke it. He hit me over the head with a chair, and 3 vertebrae cracked, and I had 2 more discs thick into my spinal cord. It was really bad. The doctor introduced me to painkillers. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
What started as legitimate pain management spiraled into devastating addiction, as Angle's body built a tolerance that required more and more medication, eventually reaching a horrifying 65 Vicodin pills per day.
Dude, I was taking 65 extra strength Vicodin a day. I was crushing it. I was buying them illegally from Mexico.
He also obtained 12 different prescriptions from 12 different pharmacies, meticulously tracking them in a book, totaling about 2,300 pills per month, and the addiction nearly killed him, as Angle would frequently pass out and knew that if he stayed in WWE, he'd likely overdose, with a breaking point coming during a meeting with Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon, where Vince showed him 5 pages of threatening text messages and voicemails Angle had sent while high, messages he didn't even remember sending. Angle left WWE in 2006, joining TNA, where he initially substituted painkillers with alcohol, drinking a 12-pack of beer every night after shows, which led to 4 DUIs in 5 years and the lowest point of his life, and it was his wife's ultimatum after the 4th DUI that finally convinced him to seek help, and as of 2025, he has been clean and sober for 14 years. Today, Angle has channeled his Olympic discipline into building a nutrition and supplements empire, with his primary business, Kurt Angle brand, offering products like whey protein shakes in flavors such as cookies and cream, designed for muscle growth and recovery, and in 2023, he partnered with Project 111 Nutrition as their first major athlete endorser, bringing his 1.6 million Instagram followers into the fold, while products like the American Dream Championship Protein are sold online with Angle actively marketing them through social media and in-person events, such as a signing at Sam's Club in Robinson, Pennsylvania, on October 18, 2025. Angle's story is one of incredible resilience, from Olympic glory with a broken neck to devastating addiction to 14 years of sobriety and a thriving business, and his willingness to share his struggles openly, particularly about addiction, provides hope for others facing similar demons. Amy Dumas, known to millions as Lita, revolutionized women's wrestling with her high-flying, risk-taking style, proving that female wrestlers could be just as exciting and athletic as their male counterparts, and at 50 years old in 2025, the WWE Hall of Famer has transitioned from death-defying moonsaults to a multifaceted life centered on animal advocacy, media projects, and occasional wrestling appearances that remind fans why she's considered one of the greatest of all time. Lita's wrestling career, spanning from 1999 to her initial retirement in 2006, was marked by groundbreaking moments. As part of Team Extreme with the Hardy Boys, she became the first woman actively involved in tables, ladders, and chairs matches, and her feuds with Trish Stratus elevated women's wrestling while she won 4 WWE Women's Championships during her career. A severe neck injury on April 6, 2002, during a Dark Angel stunt required surgery, sidelining her for a year, and her retirement in 2006 came amid personal controversy from a real-life affair with Edge while dating Matt Hardy, leading to intense fan backlash, though Lita has since returned sporadically, making history in 2023 by winning the Women's Tag Team Championship with Becky Lynch, becoming the first Hall of Famer to win a title post-induction, and as of November 2025, she thrives as a WWE ambassador with occasional backstage roles including producing and mentoring. She has emphasized the evolution of women's wrestling in interviews, such as an April 2025 discussion with Trish Stratus at Queen of the Ring, and her 2025 schedule includes fan conventions worldwide, like Mimoverse X WrestleVerse in December, along with autograph events, while Instagram posts show her at WrestleMania weekend in April and other appearances. In media, Lita co-hosted A&E's WWE's Most Wanted Treasures in 2023 and hosted the UFO show on ASY TV in 2018, while running her podcast Amy's Discordia starting in 2013, and her music career includes forming the Lookagers in 2006 with an album debuting in 2007. She authored the 2003 bestseller Lita, A Less Traveled Road, and appeared in films and TV shows, while philanthropically she remains a dedicated vegan and animal advocate, founding Amy Dumas's Operation Rescue and Education, focusing on rescuing, rehabilitating, and rehoming animals, volunteering at shelters, and using her platform to promote adoptions, while also supporting women's empowerment in sports. Personally, Lita splits her time between a luxurious Atlanta estate and a Nicaraguan coastal home for surfing and relaxation, with an estimated net worth of approximately $6 million supported by WWE, media, and music, and she is known for tattoos including a three-eyed gargoyle and Mexican skulls, with past relationships including Matt Hardy, Edge, Shane Morton, and CM Punk. For fans who remember Lita's fearless dives and groundbreaking matches, seeing her thrive as an advocate for animals and women's wrestling represents the perfect evolution, proving that female wrestlers can be every bit as exciting as their male counterparts while showing that life after wrestling can be just as impactful.